Hi muckers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all having the best day ever. Thank you so much for clicking on my YouTube channel and on my video today. I appreciate you being here, and we have got some drama to get to with Jeff Wittek, Tana Mojo, basically coming for James Charles. But I did a little bit of looking into this, and it's actually more messy than what you may think. And it's more messy than how I'm seeing people cover this. So basically, Tana Mojo and Jeff Wittek on the Jeff FM podcast were talking about the recent allegations and scandals with James Charles yet again abusing his power to basically get men, and basically that full list he sent, which was basically, you know, like, you'll get, you know, a boyfriend and you'll get to live in a $10 million house in LA, and you'll, you know, have a boyfriend with a big ass, but all I want is armpit hair, big dick, you know, all these different things. And it was just really desperate and showed that James Charles was still eagerly doing the behavior that he was called out for, which was using his social medias to use the power imbalance that he has to get men or get nudes or get lewds or any of these things, which he specifically said he wasn't going to do again. So Jeff and Tana are drilling into James, and a lot of people are covering this and basically saying that this is very interesting because Tana has had her own issues with James Charles. Jeff Wittek has, you know, at one time was James Charles' friend. But I'm seeing everyone cover this and basically be like, oh, so these two people are, you know, the right people to be calling James out. Now, you all know that I am the farthest thing from a James Charles supporter or even defender. But all I'm going to say is Jeff Wittek goes on to talk about the fact that, oh, well, James Charles has basically made him uncomfortable in DMs and made him But I did some digging and I found a video of Jeff Wittek in the peak of James Charles being called out, defending him. So it's a lot more messy than what probably you've watched videos on, because people are only covering them talking about it and really not talking about the actual history and hidden things here, which is coming into play, which is that Jeff Wittek has actually defended James for what he's doing right now, but it's, you know, more popular to go against James. But all I'm asking for is that people be consistent. We've been consistently calling James out for this. We don't need to, you know what I mean? That's my argument. Also, say hello to our new resident, Garfield, who's joining us right here, and today has been a lot. This is the end of the chapter when it comes to Tyler. I brought home his ashes today, actually a few hours ago, and his collar and his photos and everything are in a little memorial space out in my living room. So if you're looking for that in this video and noticing that, you know, there's a bit of a difference, it's because I was waiting to bring the ashes home, and everything is staying out there now, and it will be staying there now. And yep, that's that. Also, really important before we get to this first video, I am on TikTok now. My username is @TheAdamMcIntyre, and I am posting like batshit crazy over there. Doing Am I the A-hole videos, vlogs, day in the life, just talking like all these different things. Please go over and check it out @TheAdamMcIntyre. I'll link it down below. Please go over, follow, and if you're watching this and you follow me, go over and comment on any of my videos, basically saying that you came over from TikTok, and I'll send you a thank you. Okay, let's get into it. So, first things first, I'm the realist. Iggy Azalea, don't copyright strike. We are gonna watch what they said on the podcast, and then we're gonna get to Jeff talking about James in the past. Okay, so here we go.
There's inaudible angry grunting.
Just mad all the time, just out running and...
Jeff had a surgery on one of his eyes, I think like yesterday or the day before as well, and it's like one of his apparently final surgeries, so I'm wishing him all the best with the recovery. F you, David Dobrik.
Nature.
Okay, look.
What's this?
I'll read it. Let's get right into the news. Sorry, this one brings me like joy, and that's so fucked up.
Tana and
so
James hate each other, for context.
James Charles is back at flirting, making straight men uncomfortable. The alleged screenshots reveal the benefits of being his boyfriend. In one text, James says it's a really lucrative role. James used Instagram's vanish
No matter how many times I hear it, it gets worse and worse and worse. Cringe!
mode to attempt to prevent a leak. Can you read these texts? Well, you probably can't see that.
I can't see that far, but
Wait.
Can I tell you something?
How insensitive of Tana being like, Jeff, can you read? Tana!
About this before we get into it?
Did he slide in your DMs?
Did you watch the last episode where we went over all the canceled people, the last episode of Jeff FM with Hassan?
No, sorry.
Okay, so the last weather segment. Some people watch this show, they just skip to the weather segment, watch that, and then they turn it off.
Swear to fucking God.
No, I'm kidding completely.
You should not even let Ryan have that clip.
Nobody does that. No, we're going to get to him in a second, but he predicted James Charles's cancellation. He was like, this is what's going to happen next year. These are the people that are going to get canceled next year. And he said...
I think I see that all the time, and there's like these like psychics on YouTube, and there's one specific in YouTube that the drama community love, and he predicts the most easy things. James Charles is gonna get cancelled next year, Trisha Paytas is gonna get cancelled next year, and then Love the next month, and everyone's like, oh, they came true, and I'm like, okay. These psychics being like, James Charles will get cancelled. Babe, that's just like looking at the calendar and being like, oh, 3 weeks time.
James Charles for the same thing as always, and then right away. Within a week.
This is
like
just so
2 days.
funny. To me, okay, obviously, like, it's wrong, but I'm not sitting here, like, trying to actually come down on the logistics of it. It's more so, like, if you're gonna do this, like, be less embarrassing. Like, it's just hilarious. He DM'd this guy and he goes, it's a really lucrative role. It's called My Boyfriend. Requirements. 6'2 plus. Must love escape rooms, horror movies, and cuddling. Big dick. Armpit hair.
Not the armpit hair! That part always just gets me, because how many times have we talked about James with stories with, like, boys or men where, like, armpit hair has been, like, a common denominator where it's been very important.
An occasional FaceTime call. The salary is $0, but it's a good job offer, I think. Perks include a cute boyfriend with a great personality and huge ass. Free living in a $10 million house in LA.
And he mentioned this to a kid? He sent this all to
Fun
the
travel opportunities, good head, and more. It's not a kid, it's a straight guy. Like, remember that a lot of his, like, cancellation was...
Is he underage?
No. Like, a lot of his, like, Well, I don't think so.
Oh, but he's just aggressively going after a guy that's, like, straight.
Like, and not a...
Yeah.
Obviously...
And here's the thing. So Jeff is, like, validating. It's not a kid. It's not, you know, underage. All these different things. The problem here was that James Charles was still actively using his social media to have the power imbalance to get things off of men. In this case, it was, you know, to get photos, to get all these different FaceTime calls where, you know, they're being a little bit... That was the issue. The issue around this specific one. There's been so many that it gets, you know, confusing. The issue was that James sat his ass on a YouTube video this time last year saying that he's so embarrassing and he will never use his YouTube or TikTok or anything to message men in this way, and he'll you know, act accordingly in the future, and he didn't, and that was what the problem was with this. And also, it was just really cringy.
I will say this guy had to have been responding for it to, like, keep going down the thread, and, you know, that's a benefit of the doubt. I just wish the things he would say made me want to die less.
That's the same shit he's always done. He's, like, not learning. What the fuck are you doing? Look at this. Just get this off. Get this off. Get this off.
So this was the video of them.
Don't even remind people of
Jeff
this.
looks in love. You look in love.
No.
Can you read your DMs with James Charles right now?
Yeah, I unfollowed him after this past week because I realized I was following him and all this stuff and your beef with him. You know, fuck it, we got each other's back, we ride together, and it's
Except Tana doesn't have Jeff's back because she's like besties with David Dobrik, but ooh.
bad shit. You're doing the same shit you've been doing for the past 3 years.
The guy exposed him, and all he messaged the guy back after was, "Go fuck yourself, David."
Wait, what?
Like, the guy's name is David.
I'm sure Jeff would say the same thing. Go fuck yourself, David.
Sorry, TW.
Not trigger warning.
The guy's name is David, and after the guy exposed him, all James said was, "Go fuck yourself, David."
Wow, damn.
Kind of crazy.
He is salty, huh?
I guess.
Does Jeff have veneers? I know Tana has veneers. Very obvious, no shade. But Jeff's teeth are really good.
I don't know.
So that's what I'm
just
picking
goes
up
to
on.
prove
Oh my
it even
God,
more. You got
speaking
caught,
of-
bro. You got caught.
Possibly.
Speaking of David, in our last episode,
Okay, so then they take it off topic, which means that they don't end up reading or really diving into what Tana was asking, which is, you know, like Jeff's experience with James. Now, I think that was for a reason. Now, I have these two videos. Now, this is a video uploaded by Tatum, which was basically... We're not watching this entire thing, but just to kind of give a vibe. There was a stage on the internet where people were shipping James and Jeff together.
Who was the best?
James like, well, the best kisser? That's Jeff.
So there was, like, let me skip towards, like, the end here.
Alright, you want to just, do you have any like oils? Maybe we could do like a full body massage here. You want to just do
we
that?
can definitely find one.
Okay, we'll save that for the end,
Okay, great.
after the video ends.
So
Yeah,
cringy.
So we'll put this on and that's it, right?
Okay, yeah.
The makeup's done.
I guess so. Who's been your favorite person that you've gotten to cut so far?
Next up is you. That's all I care about. After that, I'm retiring. I'm giving my clippers away. And that's it. I'm wrapping up the show.
Okay, well done.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that noise is, like, triggering. Anyone else jump? Triggering.
You look great.
Thanks, Jeff.
I hope I didn't mess up too much.
Turn it off! It's definitely not me, right? No. That is such a... I don't want to hear it again.
What?
That's okay. You could have done anything. I would have been happy with that.
Are we done?
I
So
think
can
we
we
are.
cut? Do the massage?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, guys.
We can cut do whatever your heart desires.
Yeah. What do you say we get out of here and we talk about that a little more?
We can get out of here and talk about whatever
Let's
you
go.
want.
I'll
Okay.
help you.
Oh, I'm so ready for this.
Oh, you must weigh about 80 pounds.
Oh, Josh, you're crazy.
Who was the best?
He's like, well, the best kisser.
Okay, well, no. All right, you have that. My God, it's just.
So you would.
I'm trying to figure out if Jeff looks like much different or whatever. I know there's like rumors of him with like Botox and stuff like that. Okay, I'm not gonna go down this road. I'm gonna leave that for my thoughts after. Okay, so I find this video uploaded by Jennifer Check where Jeff Wittek is talking about his experience with James Charles. This is very important, knowing that Jeff was basically telling Tana, like, you know, he had to block him or unfollow him at least. And, you know, he knew that he was going to get cancelled again. They all kind of speculate behind the scenes that he's going to get cancelled. This is our final video we're going to watch, and then we're going to talk. I feel like it's important for people to also show these other videos rather than just, you know, the clip of Tana and Jeff talking. I feel like it's important to. Sorry, like...
What are you saying about James Charles?
Okay, so the James Charles stuff, man, what are the biggest things that he's being dragged down for right now? It's for using his fame and
So basically, this was in 2019 or something like that, and we're still talking about so Jeff and Tana, a week or so ago, are talking about the same topic with James Charles that they were talking about in 2019. That's how little James Charles has grown. Crazy.
money to convince straight guys to have sex with him or something like that, I guess.
Well, how much money did he have to give you to have sex with him?
Come on, Todd, this is a touchy subject for your sarcasm. I don't know, James, that was...
So there we have Jeff shutting down jokes, right? His teeth are really good. Does he have veneers? I'm gonna tweet out. Sorry, this is like, I don't mean to... Does Jeff Wittek have veneers? How do you spell veneers? Veneers. Oh, it auto-corrected. Alright. Oh, fuck. It's spelled Jeff Wittek. Wittek. Okay. I'm just gonna read the response at the end of the video.
Well, I've only met him through, like, doing the videos and maybe, like, 2 other times, like, at Coachella and stuff like that. He was really nice, and then... Oh, fuck, man. This is just such a hard thing, because it's such... I'm walking on eggshells, man. We didn't make this podcast to talk about drama and do shit like that. We just did it.
That's what they all say! Then they realize people care about drama.
But...
That's why we never bring anybody up on our podcast.
I know,
Never.
dude, but now I'm getting these comments on my Instagram, and, like, for a while there, it was, like, annoying that everybody's like, date James, date James. I'm like, I did a collaboration with
The
James,
one we watched.
you know, like, then all the people at home, they want to comment this stuff and say, like, oh, you should date James, and now something goes wrong with him, and now everybody's like, you need to unfollow James. I don't need to do shit. Like, just like when I collaborated with him, and, you know, he said some things that were, like, a little flirty, and I was like, hey, man, not gay. Let's move on.
So, here's my thing. Jeff Wittek, in the video we just watched, was being equally as flirty with James Charles. And I know it's probably embarrassing to admit that after there's like a bunch of allegations come up against James, but I also think it's unfair to James to say that that was a very one-sided thing. I know that Jeff was making jokes whenever he was like, we'll do the massage and we'll do this, whatever, but it could be argued, we know it's really not, but it could be argued that James was doing the exact same thing. So this just seems like you're backpedaling, and I think it's really important to note that when we talk about Jeff Wittek and Tana Mongeau exposing and talking about James, to note that their opinions in the past have been so wishy-washy. If you're gonna come for James like us, be consistent.
And then he was like, okay, we'll move on. Let's do a video, and we talked about it in the video. And that was the end of the story. So people saying that, like, oh, he's using his fame and power to manipulate people to have sex with him. You just say no, and then it's over with. What's the big deal? Why is he...
Whenever I hear that word, fame to manipulate people, all I can think about is Bobby Burns. He's using his fame to manipulate people and, I don't know, to make it terrible, terrible, terrible content.
Yeah, like having a big cancel party.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
What I know of James Charles and how the few times I've met him, I think he'll figure this out.
Oh, Jason. He won't until 2019, 2020, 21, 22, 23. 5 years down the line, we're still working on it, Jason. But I love the optimism. Congrats on the engagement, babe.
And I think he'll be fine. And, you know, maybe it's a learning lesson for him. But I think he'll... But
Or maybe many lessons.
what is crazy, what we can talk about, is He lost 3 million.
Yeah,
Is it
3 million.
3 million, yeah.
If I lost 3 million, I'd be negative 2 million.
People were having viewing parties of him losing followers.
Cancel me. I want to be canceled. I want to have my episode where we put my social blade on the TV.
They won't cancel you because you want to be canceled.
I know.
Cancel me.
I don't want to be dismissive of what the allegations are. It is serious stuff.
Predatory behavior.
Predatory behavior. I don't know, man. I was in that situation specifically. James did come on to me, but I mean, we're comedians. We joke around. We joke around about.
Okay, we just watched a video where Jeff was being equally as flirty with James Charles. So that's when you start to annoy me. I do not like James Charles. But let's be fair here. Like, people cannot just admit whenever they possibly made a mistake by not, you know, how they acted with James or whatever. It's just like, admit it. That's why whenever I saw everyone being like, Jeff and Tana are talking, I was like, okay, but how credible is Jeff Wittek? Sorry.
Our guy friends being good looking all the time, and it's just like, it's something I'm used to. So he did in the beginning say like, hey, let's go to the movies or something like that. And I'm like,
cringe.
Hey, James, I'm straight, dude. Like, you know, like, all jokes aside, like, and he was like, okay, cool.
Okay, then why do you film a video with him and start, like, flirting with him and stuff like that? And being, like, making jokes, flirting. Like, I understand that it's jokes, but, like, we're dealing with James Charles here. Like, let's, you know.
Then next week he hit me up to do a video together and talk about it. And we talked about it. And it was fine. Like, you just got to speak up for yourself. If you feel like you're in a situation where somebody is...
Okay, and here is just kind of, like, victim blaming to, like, people... if they're not willing to speak up against someone who's millions of followers who's coming onto them, James, to people.
Trying to manipulate you to do something, just speak up or ask one of your friends. Ask somebody that you think is smarter.
Next, now let's address the next scandal that Jeff's been in. Recently, he was talking about James Charles.
Oh, yeah, James Charles. Next up, I'm going to be cutting James Charles's hair, and I'm going to have Tati pop out of the closet.
So, again, we are aware of what year this was, 2019.
What did I say that was like really horrible last time that I didn't articulate my sentences?
It wasn't
properly?
horrible. I think it was just not worded completely correctly. It was, or something like that. I don't know. You were getting some shit, but I kind of agreed with what you were saying too. You said something about, just say no, but you never knew if like the person. We're adults. We're used to like people hitting on us. And stuff like that, so it just seems normal. That sounded so conceited.
It did sound very conceited. We're used to people loving us. We're used to people finding us sexy. Scott, really, you? I mean, I understand the other two saying it, but... babe, like, let's lower the, like, ego here.
You know, it's just so normal for people to be hitting on us.
Yeah.
No,
but, we need to be corrected, guys. We are not... trained. We don't have a PR team.
The reason I want to include this full thing, by the way, is because what I just called him out for, he does end up acknowledging the next week, so I think it would be unfair to cut it, like being fair here.
I think what you were trying to say is that you always have the option to say no. But what the audience was saying was, sometimes it's not that simple, Jeff. You're a very good-looking man, you're very confident. If someone who has power and success comes at a younger, more insecure individual, it might be more difficult for them to say no, like you're able to, because
True.
You're you. So I think that was a little gap, but what you were saying...
Not even that, it's just they have followers too. So insinuating that them rejecting someone with followers is the same as someone who has no followers rejecting someone who has millions of followers and is like threatening to, you know, use their power. Two very different situations, but I'm glad they're addressing and apologizing for it. But I just think this is very important to note whenever we're talking about Jeff and Tana talking about James.
As a whole, made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
They didn't understand what you were talking about from a personal perspective. They thought you were generalizing, and I think that's, you know, where you could clear it up a little bit.
Yeah, I guess I was responding to a lot of the comments made to me personally about my own personal situation with James that I was in. And the way I wanted to explain the way I handled it. I just told James straight up, I was like, look, this is never going to happen. But I can see how people can be manipulated.
The manipulation side of things, obviously, that's awful, that's bad. We found out from James's video that that's not the case. That's not what was happening, really. And from my perspective, I think, like, in the past if I've been hit on by a gay man. It's like, hey, you have a cute butt, or you're cute, or something like that. I'm flattered.
But James Charles got himself uncanceled, I think. That's what's the latest thing in the makeup community drama, which is insane to keep up with whatever, you know.
Oh, we know it well. We know it well. Years later, baby.
I'm working on my own controversies here, man. I don't have time for this.
This might not be an appropriate joke to make, but you and James have a lot in common. The way you flipped your scandals around.
I did mine quicker. I actually broke the world record of canceling and uncanceling.
But I mean, you guys have so much in common. You should date.
All right, okay, there, we get it. Now, again, first of all, I want to see the response to my tweet and figure out if Jeff Wittek has veneers. Great. 20 likes on the tweet. 0 responses. I'm deleting the tweet. That's embarrassing. Really? 20 likes. Twitter now show you how many people have viewed the tweet. 4,000 people have viewed the tweet. Not 1 response. You could have just said yeah or no. Like, even lied, you know what I mean? Well, I'm glad I tweeted it out and asked for your advice. So, yes, people wanted me to talk about this with Tana and Jeff, and I did want to kind of vent a bit because it annoys me whenever people are willing to change their opinion on stuff that's so serious based on if the person is popular or not. Whenever it comes to predatory behavior, abusing your power with underage people, abusing your power just with people in general, and just lying about saying that you're going to do better, which is this. So I wanted to show everything and kind of get a more broad opinion from you guys. So let me know. I love you. Thank you for watching this video. Again, please click the link and check out my TikTok. And again, go comment and say if you came from this video. And I'll make sure to engage. Whatever that means. I'm still learning how to do TikTok. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Mwah.